Hey everyone, this is the Twins with the Grand Old Time Cast, and this is our video essay on Traditional State OCS, Abridged.
Medieval business.
Toku Sentai. Loud noises!
So Phase 1, your primary or your key events that you'll need to worry about are your 6-mile ruck and your land nav tests. There are other tests in Phase 1 that are sporadic, but they're actually, with a little bit of studying, you can actually pass them no problem. Yeah. Like, you might not get A's on all of them, but as long as you get above a C, you should be fine.
Yeah, you'll get the test, like you'll get the material that morning or that afternoon, and you'll be testing on it by that evening.
Absolutely. So, however, Phase 1 will start off, it'll be a culture shock for a lot of folks, especially NCOs who are used to being treated a certain way. But once you get there, you'll do your first formation, a cannon will fire. Once that cannon fires, you will get a very big, long smoke session. That will be an incredibly difficult part of what you do if you're not used to getting smoke, so be prepared for that. After that smoke session, you get into the monotony of your week. You go to classroom, you get chow, you sprint to chow. When I say sprint, I mean, I'm not talking double time, I'm talking you sprint. You flat out sprint to chow.
Yes.
So be prepared for that.
In full battle rattle.
Full battle rattle. And then you will also have to be prepared to take your tests. You'll go to your classroom. You'll get some instructions. You'll have lots of tact breaks. There'll be lots of confusion. You'll be given unreasonable hit times. You'll be yelled at constantly.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
So just be prepared for a lot of that during week 1. And again, the most important event you do during week 1 is your 6-mile ruck. So just be sure you pass that. And if you can pass that in the test that you take during that week, you will be fine. Once you get to week 2, it's actually a lot more relaxed and chilled. They do not bother you or smoke you when you are out in the field. There's no tree of knowledge out in the field. And if you don't know what a tree of knowledge is, you'll learn very soon. But once you're in the field, again, you're just going to practice and rehearse land nav for several days as a group, as in smaller groups until it's just you as an individual. And after that, you're going to take your test on like the 3rd or 4th day. And you get 1 retest. So if you happen to fail the land nav test, it will be a night to day land nav. So you'll start in the dusk of middle of the night, like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then you'll go all the way up until like 6 in the morning with this land nav test. It's like a 4-hour test.
Yes. And the cadre will be there to help teach you, and along the way, like I said, the group 1 is a big one with your whole class or squad, whatever groups you get assigned into. Mm-hmm. Then you'll go into partners, and then if you're still struggling, a cadre member will usually keep following the ones around that are struggling the
They'll
most.
follow the people struggling. And again, it's not like when you're on the base. Week 1, they're going to treat you like dog crap the entire time. When you're in the field and you're trying to pass this land nav test, they will be more reasonable to you. But then once you get back to base after the land nav stuff is over, again, if you fail, we started with a class of almost 100, and we graduated with 70 because that's how many people. We lost 30% of the class in land nav to the land nav. So land nav is the candidate killer. That's where a lot of people got lost.
And again, that's the joke with why you can't spell lost without LT. And 2, you still get 1 more chance to retake every test. That includes land nav and any of the written or exam tests that you take in class as well. You get 2 chances.
Got a good brain.
Correct. So after you get back, you basically do weapons turn in, you clean your weapons, and you're done. You get to go home and you get to head back to your state. And that will basically conclude your Phase 1 after you do your final formation, and they'll bust you back up and send you home.
Tomorrow, ladies, we gonna start the hard stuff.
The hard stuff?
Phase 2, or like I said again, we refer to it as the long slog. Once you report to your first drill, it's what I call the wake-up call, because you think you got through the hard part in Phase 1, which technically is true, but they're going to give you the wake-up call once you're back at your first drill for Phase 2. We were treated terribly. We were doing low crawling in the parking lot. We could not do anything right. None of our answers were good enough, and we just felt lost and confused all over again.
You people are at the position of attention! Picante, have you been blousing your trousers over your boots like a paratrooper?
No, sir.
That explained the creases at the bottom.
No excuse, sir.
When did you sew on these chevrons, Sergeant Lipton?
Yesterday, sir.
Long enough to notice this. Revoked.
Sir.
Rust on the butt plate hinge spring, Private. Bullshit. Revoked.
You're feeling pretty hot after when you get back from phase 2, and then you get like a month. I think we got like almost like 2 months off when we came back. So you're feeling pretty good about yourself, feeling good, and then it's there to remind you, hey, you're still an OCS.
Yes. Again, so that first drill will be your wake-up call. And again, it's the long slog. So phase 2, I would break phase 2. So it's either a 9 to 12-month program. So you're either going to be in the 9-month or you're going to be in 12-month. We are in the 12-month. I know Oklahoma is now in the 9-month. I don't know if you're watching this video, if your state does the 12-month or not. But you need to break it up into two phases. So you have phase 2, but you have 2 segments. So you have the first half and the second half. The first half will primarily consist of, or the most important thing you need to worry about is the history exam. You'll take tons of exams, like there's a logistics exam, there's a battle tactics exam, but the one that will kill you, or the one that kills the most candidates, is the history exam, because it is 2 semesters of collegiate military history that you have to learn in 2 days, essentially, on that weekend. So you can't learn it all on that weekend. You have to learn it outside of drill. You have to do study groups. You have to get together and we thought we wouldn't lose anybody else after we got to phase 2, because you lose the vast majority of people at phase 1. But we actually lost another 3 people out of our class due to the history exam because it was so dense. It's not a short, easy little quick A, B, or C answer test. It is A, B, or C, but it's a paragraph-long question, and it's paragraph-long answers, and you have to find the answer that is the most correct. Yeah. And it is a lot of information. A lot. So study. The most important thing you can do for the first half is making sure you pass the history exam. All the other exams are not that bad compared to it.
And he's not wrong with the studying part. Is there could be more than one right answer in there, but it's your job to find the most right answer.
So now that we've woken you up to the fact that the history exam is the candidate killer, that first drill, you're going to get assigned a whole bunch of information. So the stuff that you will have to do that you'll get assigned is your cubs. And on top of your cubs, you will get assigned your dine-in, your staff ride, and when they say they're going to want that dine-in and staff ride complete by next drill. And when they say complete, they mean 100% done. So you'll have to put together 3 COAs for each of those things. So the staff ride will have 3 COAs, and the dine-in will have 3 COAs. And that COAs are a course of action. So for your dine-in, you'll want to select 3 different restaurants, and you'll want to have 3 different locations that could be potential locations for your dine-in. And you're going to want to have an itemized bill list, and go ahead and have a guest list already figured out, and have it 100% finalized and say, this is the exact amount of cash we'll need to get this completed. And you'll have to show that to the cadre. And again, when I say 100% done, I mean 100% done, like an itemized bill list ready to go. Same goes for your staff ride.
Yep.
The staff ride, you will choose 3 destinations. You will select hotels at those locations, and you will put together an itinerary and a meal plan for you during that weekend staff ride or event. So we chose our locations. We chose Normandy, France. We chose Vicksburg, and we chose the Battle of Honey Creek somewhere in Oklahoma, which was a budget killer one. So you want to have if you can get everything you ever dreamed of for your event, something in the middle, and then like if you get your budget cuts come in and the military takes everything away from you.
And this is where you'll figure out who your Blue Falcons are, is in this phase. In phase 1, you won't have enough time, and there's too much going on for you to realize who's a Blue Falcon or not.
Yes,
in phase 2, Blue Falcons rear their heads. There's all this stuff you have to get done outside of drill.
It's borderline impossible to be a Blue Falcon in phase 1 because you're just getting yelled at, you're being screamed at the entire time, you're being given unreasonable hit times, you're just running and keeping up with the person in front of you. It's really hard to be a Blue Falcon in phase 1. Phase 2, again, as he just said, that's where the Blue Falcons will rear their ugly heads because they'll say, I have too much going on in my life to help you. And again, for some people that might be true, but you will wear through people's patience. They will lose their charitable spirit to you if you just keep constantly failing them.
I am 2 seconds from being on you like white on rice and a glass of milk and a paper plate in a snowstorm. I will put my foot so far up your ass the water on my knee will quench your thirst.
So, again, the success of your drill is going to be planned outside of your drill weekend, not during your drill. So, perhaps we didn't do a good job explaining this, but phase 2 is not like phase 1. Phase 1, you're there. You're in the environment. You never leave. You that 2 weeks, you're there the entire time. Phase 2, it's like if you're in the Guard, it's a normal drill weekend to you. You go home, you work, you do stuff with your family, you have a life outside of the military for the most part, and then you go to drill for 2 or 3 days, and that's it.
That's right.
So the success of your drill weekend is based on what you do to plan, prep, and prepare for that weekend. And again, that is where your Blue Falcons rear their ugly heads. They'll let you down, like, I can't come to the meeting, or I didn't do this for you. It's like, this is where you find out who people are, is in phase 2, and how reliable they are and what kind of officer they're going to be.
Yes.
So be prepared for that. And again, so going back to the staff ride, make sure that's 100% done. Your COAs are all there. You have an itemized bill list, and it's ready to go by the second drill. I cannot convince you of that enough. If I have not convinced you of that, I cannot help you, because you're going to have a rough couple of drills, is all I'm going to say.
100%.
Take time on a weekend and just do it. Just hammer it out.
Excellent effort.
It'll have to be done. A lot of this stuff has to be done over, not on your drill weekend, but over your work month or work week, whatever. And again, this is one of those things. If you show up to the drill weekend and you have no idea what you're doing or what's going on, you're probably going to give whoever's in leadership a bad drill weekend.
Ah, shit! I forgot my ammo bag.
Shall we turn back?
No time.
And if you are leadership, you're going to have a really bad drill weekend.
So again, your key events that take place during the first part, or again, part 1 of phase 2 for the first half of the drill, is going to be your history exam and your diagnostic 4-mile run, as well as your 9-mile ruck.
Mm-hmm.
Complete those things. Make sure your guys are staying fit and healthy outside of drill, as well as practicing, rehearsing, and doing their COAs for all of the events. The second half of phase 2, or the long slog, you're looking at learning how to do op boards, learning how to do stick lanes, learning how to do terrain model kits, all of this stuff that will help you in your phase 3. But the other things you're going to have happen during your second half of your phase 2 is going to be your 12-mile ruck, your actual 4-mile graduation run, as well as your staff ride and dine-in should take place during this time as well. So be prepared for that.
That is correct. And the other part is people will get lazy after winter break, especially after December. Everybody will have gone to their families, gone to party, whatever your vices, drink, food, whatever.
Or it's just going to get cold and you're not going to want to go outside to work out anymore.
But the door is slippery. It's frozen shut.
Let me have a try. Open sesame. Well, I've done all I can do.
And that's where we almost lost half of our class in the 4-mile graduation run, because everybody wasn't hitting the concrete with, shoes, because we had a few ice storms and snowstorms and stuff. Nobody was running on concrete. They're hitting the elliptical. The elliptical is not like running on the pavement.
Yeah, the elliptical machine's doing half the work for you. So get outside, beat feet, run on pavement, ruck, because phase 3 is nothing but rucking. It's 2 weeks of nonstop rucking out in the field. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not. If you think you're rucking enough, you're wrong. Ruck, run. Get your body as prepared as possible for phase 3, because once you get out there, we probably lost like 20 pounds while we were out there.
Yep, I would say so.
So be prepared. And again, the second half of phase 2 is fun. Like, you get to do the fun stuff. You're doing the sticks lanes. You're doing battle drills a lot more. You'll have in the first half of phase 2, there will be some battle drills and learning how to do that. But again, I say focus primarily on the history exam, and then phase 2 you can focus on the fun stuff, which is the op board and the sticks lanes and learning how to do terrain model kits. But yeah, that's about all you got there on phase 2. And then you're going to push on into phase 3. And phase 3 is the fun part.
This is where the fun begins.
You'll move on into phase 3. And when you're in phase 3, we reported to Washington. And once you get there, you're treated like as they call, colloquially they just say you're a third lieutenant. You're treated like an adult. So all throughout phase 1, you're treated like absolute crap. Phase 2, we were treated like absolute crap the entire time. Everything comes out of your mouth. You have to say your first 4, which is sir, officer, candidate, state your name. And you either ask your question or you address the cadre member. At phase 3, whenever I did that, I got there and I was like, sir, officer, candidate. And they were like, now, drop that. I don't want to be I don't want to be a part of that anymore. So I was like, wow, we're dropping rules a little bit here, which was really interesting. You know, we still had to salute superior officers, but you know, they were kind of done with the whole formality thing, which was really cool. So you're treated like a third lieutenant, almost like an adult. And once you get there, it's immediately the first thing you'll do is you'll go into getting to know your squad, and then you'll learn weapons familiarization, so you'll learn how to use all the weapons platforms. Again, if you don't already know how to do so.
My weapon's jammed. What the? Oh, shit.
And then you'll come up with some SOPs for maybe crossing linear danger areas and reacting to contact. Once you've got all that sorted out, you're going to go right out into the field, and you're going to be doing your squad stick lanes. You're going to rehearse for 2 or 3 days, and then you're going to have your test. And you're going to be wound up tight, but just do it. The cadre at Oklahoma taught us really well. In fact, most of the kids that did squad stick lanes there, out of all probably 90 candidates that were there from California, Arizona, Illinois, Kansas,
Washington,
Oklahoma, Washington, Oregon.
All those states.
Only one person failed, and it was somebody from California. It was like a E7. But like I said, he just didn't do a good job, and they just said we could not reasonably pass you. But the vast majority of us passed.
Yep. You should be pretty wired tight by the time you get to Phase 3. So if you're still struggling with your troop leading procedures and your con ops by phase after Phase 2, you're probably going to struggle at Phase 3.
Absolutely. But yeah, once you get to Phase 3 and you get your go, it's all fun after that. Like, I was living the high life once we were done with my sticks lanes. Like, I got my pass on my first sticks lane, and then I went in and did my second one, and it was just all fun. Like, I took it seriously, but I had fun with it.
D+. Oh my God. I passed. I passed. Oh man, I got a D+. I'm gonna graduate. I wish we'd known each other. This is a little awkward. I'm gonna graduate. D+. I'm gonna graduate.
And then after that, that's your first week. And then your second week is platoon lanes. The people who did the best at the squad sticks lanes will be promoted to the platoon leader for a platoon lane. And then you'll be trading out squad leaders throughout the event. And we marched up a mountain to a place called Leshai Town. And we took contact. You marched up the mountain for 2 days. We took contact as we were marching there multiple times a day. And then we reconned the town on the 3rd day, and then we assaulted into the town, and then we defended in place. And after we did that, and again, that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun doing all that.
Yep.
And after we defended in place, they called indexed, and we were done with the exercise, and we were basically ready to go home and commission.
Yep. And that's the only thing you need to pass at Phase 3 is one go on your sticks lanes. You only need one.
Only one go on your squad sticks lanes on the first week, and that's it.
You could fail everything else, and still, as long as you have one go, you're going to pass. Now, this doesn't mean turn into a Blue Falcon and then just
quit on your team.
Exactly. Don't quit on your team, because there are people who just as soon as they got their go, they're like, I'm not helping with anything. I'm just going to be a Joe and sit here and do nothing. Don't do that, because they can still kick you out if you are proving that you're not being a good soldier in a way.
But yeah, that's essentially how Phase 3 goes. Phase 3 is the fun part. So enjoy it while you're there. Take it seriously, enjoy it, and then don't be a Blue Falcon. I mean, you'll pass Phase 3 no problem. Again, it's like Phase 1. You're there the entire time. You don't leave. You don't go anywhere. It's not like Phase 2, the difficult part where you have life outside of drill. Yeah. So that's about all I've got for you. If you have any questions, be sure to leave us a question in the comments. We will answer absolutely any question you have. No questions too big, no questions too small. But that's all we've got for you. This is the Twins with the Grand Old Time Cast, and we are signing off. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.
All right.